Today I'm going to show you some real world results using the GoPro Hero 7 like any YouTuber would. A lot of you asked to see more footage from the video I did about GoPro camera settings, and you wanted to see the results from the GoPro vlogging rig that I did, so I'm going to go over those things today. Now I'm not going to go over the things that we know a GoPro can do. We know a GoPro is good for action sports and action shots and mounting in different places and stuff like that. GoPro is known for that, so I'm not going to go over those things. I'm going to focus more on traditional camera use like vlogging and studio setups like this, and we're going to see how well the GoPro performs doing those things. So I'm not going to try to abuse the GoPro and make it fail and make the footage fall apart and stuff like that. I'm going to use it like I would use a normal camera. So let's switch over to the GoPro and see how it looks. And now we switched over to the GoPro. So this is what the same setup looks like using the GoPro. So if the GoPro is your only camera and you want to sit here and do YouTube videos, this is what it would look like if you use that instead of a traditional DSLR mirrorless camera. I'm using the exact same camera positioning, the same audio setup, the same lighting setup. So all I did was swap out the camera for the GoPro. So from this moment forward, everything that you see will be from the GoPro. Now I'm going to go outside and I'm going to vlog with the camera and do some B-roll and stuff like that. And like I said before, this is not a test to make the GoPro struggle. This is a test to see how good a GoPro does when used like a regular camera. I'm going to use the camera just like I would use any other camera, and I'm going to edit the footage just like I would edit any other footage. This is how it looks and how it sounds when you vlog with the GoPro. I'm heading towards the sunlight and I have no external mic or anything like that on the camera right now. And I'm not walking right now, I'm on the Segway. So hyper smooth is not really going to be doing too much for me right now, but I'm going to get off and I'm going to walk around and show you what that looks like as well. Okay, so now I'm walking around, and even if this was a regular camera, I wouldn't be using it in this configuration. I would have some kind of tripod on it and a microphone. So let me go ahead and do that right now. Okay, now I have the external mic hooked up, and I'm pretty much using the vlogging setup that I show on my other YouTube video about how I set it up for vlogging. So this is what it looks like when I use this setup. This is what it sounds like when I use this setup. I think my camera settings should be fine. I also have a video about camera settings, so be sure to check that out. I will link both of those videos in the description box down below. Now some people might not understand why you would want to use a GoPro for things like this, but a lot of people might not be as camera savvy or might not care too much about cameras and just want to have a simple camera that they can use and get good quality results with without having to worry about too many things. So a GoPro is very good for that, and it's very versatile. You can use it in many different applications. If this was a regular camera and a regular vlogging setup, there would be no way I would be comfortable with doing this. Only because it's a GoPro. So a GoPro could be a very good thing for people who don't really need all the extra stuff that comes with dealing with a full-size camera. So now let's shoot some B-roll, and we're going to see how good the GoPro does with that. Yep, that's enough of that. Now, as I just learned, it's kind of hard to shoot B-roll with such a wide lens. I'm used to shooting B-roll with a more zoomed in 50mm or 85mm or something like that. Something with more background compression, and shooting wide angle trying to get B-roll shots was a challenge. So with that being said, tell me how it looks. We're going to take it outside at nighttime and see how well it does in low light situations. Now this is where the GoPro is going to fall apart the most, in low light. And I'm standing directly under a street light, as you can see, and this is what the footage looks like. And pretty much any camera with a sensor size this small is just going to suffer in low light. That's just the physical reality of the sensor size. So don't expect this thing to work too great in low light. And if I walk around, you can kind of see how the hyper smooth reacts to that as far as trying to stabilize the footage. Now this is what it looks like when I turn on a small LED that is mounted on top of the camera. So tell me what it looks like with the light mounted on the camera. But this is pretty much an example of what GoPro footage looks like in the dark. The low light footage does look pretty bad, and that's expected for a camera like this because the sensor is so small. It's basically the same size sensor that's found in cell phones and stuff like that. So you really can't expect the camera to capture much light with a sensor that tiny. And actually the square that's around the front of the lens on the GoPro is almost the same size as the entire sensor on a crop body camera. So it makes complete sense that the low light performance suffers on this camera. All in all, I think this is a very great GoPro. I've avoided buying GoPros for a very long time because I just did not like how the footage looked. The Hero 6 caught my eye and I played around with it for a bit, but the 7 really had me sold. It built upon the Hero 6 and I think this is a very complete, well thought out camera, and for what this camera is designed to be, I think they knocked it out of the park. I hope this video was helpful, and if there's anything else that you want me to experiment or try out with the GoPro, just let me know. Leave it down in the comment section down below and I'll try to make a video on it. So be sure to subscribe, like, follow me on Instagram, and I will see you guys next time.